everybody. I was slightly late. I'm Marcus Brigstocke, and I'm very glad to be here. I think before I introduce anybody or anything, I think one of the easiest ways to help to deal with sustainability issues is to plan ahead. So a simple Google search to find out whether or not Justin Bieber is playing would have told me that, in fact, in order to arrive here for 5 o'clock, I should have left yesterday at around midday. So, apologies for being very late. I've got introductions here for people that I should have met between 5 o'clock and now, but didn't because I've just walked in. However, I'd like to welcome you to the first eco event at Ravensbourne. We'll be here for about an hour debating what the media industry in general and you in particular can do to be more green. The first step is to help carbon zero this event, which will create 2.267 tonnes of carbon dioxide. There will be a collection bucket at the back on your way out to offset this, where you can put some carbon into there, and that'll help. Relax, everybody, it's fine. So I'm going to introduce our panel now. To my left is, I think, Richard Smith. Correct. Good, excellent. This is all correct. Richard is joining us from the BBC, and aliens are joining us. Albert is the BBC's production carbon calculator. It was designed by Richard Smith in his position as Sustainable Production Manager, a job which covers anything and everything that helps progress the Beeb's ambition to make the world's most sustainable TV shows by coming up with practical solutions for both BBC and indie programme makers. Immediately to my left is Keith Horgan from the Carbon Trust, which is a not-for-profit organisation working to cut carbon emissions while promoting the competitive advantages and economic returns of green behaviours. Keith Horgan's role as Partnership Development Manager is to encourage company action through low-carbon initiatives, helping businesses to focus on actual results and not just good intentions. To my right is Dax Lovegrove, hello, from the WWF, that's the World Wildlife Fund, and they changed that. The World Wrestling Federation changed their name, in fact, a massive victory for the WWF. They are the world's leading conservation body. It aims to improve links between wildlife, the environment, and human activity. Dax Lovegrove's remit as head of business and industry in the UK is to help make a difference in the private sector where business and environmental agendas collide. And immediately to my right, although not politically, I suspect, is David Klafelsky, or Claff to anyone in the industry, from the Farm Group, which is the UK's leading television post-production provider, servicing shows like The X Factor, Misfits, Shameless, and Downton Abbey. So 3 really good shows there. One other one. Claff's role as technical director means handling the fact that clients see facilities as being a bit like hotels. It's difficult to hold clients back on energy consumption since they feel they have paid for it, and therefore it doesn't count. So that is our panel. The way that this will operate, though, is very much down to you and the questions that you have for everybody, which I will try to steer in the right direction. And we start with a question from Ian Simpson, who is over there. If you just wait until the microphone reaches you, Ian. There you go.
Hello. It was recently reported that now Question Time has moved to Scotland. The show's producer will be flying weekly from Glasgow to London to brief David Dimbleby. The show often debates green issues and so helps to educate the public, but is it ever okay to be unecological if the ends justify the means?
Right. Well, Richard Smith, you're from the BBC, so this is your fault. That's how the BBC
Funny
works.
Was that easy?
Would you like to address that first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that is an interesting one, and really plays into this whole idea of what sustainability means. Sustainability, as I'm sure you're aware, has a much broader meaning than purely an environmental measure. And certainly when the BBC decided to move its productions away from just being in London and diversifying right across England.
Things, but the bigger things, yes. Just wait for a microphone to come to this gentleman.
Richard Hughes. I just want to pick up on your question very quickly. I'm aware I was at an event called Wildscreen, which is a lot of natural history filmmakers that meets every 2 years, and we had a debate with some of the commissioners about making conservation programs, you know, environmental programs, and actually they were commissioning something like 1%, 2% of programs about conservational issues, and also, you know, we're consumers of things like, especially talking to you guys with the WWF, conservation animals, wildlife programs, and we make the world look as if it's full of animals. You know, these places, these environments are untouched by the human hand, and actually the reality is, you go to Africa and you go and film some elephants. You know, actually, all the animals are around a small pool of water, and there's, you know, 30 or 40 tourist trucks all filming and looking at this small areas. You know, the way we portray wildlife, nature is very different to the reality. So I think I just open that up for a little bit of a debate, really. So.
I mean, we're in the business of making entertainment, and it shouldn't always necessarily be hard-hitting facts. I mean, a lot of it's supposed to remove you from reality rather than portray it. They're two different things. One's information and one's entertainment. They both can coexist, but sometimes it's quite nice to kid yourself that the world is actually full of fluffy creatures that are under no danger. But I take the point about we should be out there making more, but there should be more programs being made. Why commissioners aren't commissioning them, I don't know. We need to get some commissioners up there.